MX vs. ATV Supercross Encore, that is the game we are checking out. Now, before we start the video, this is going to be kind of like MX vs. ATV Alive, where we do a short review, short review, and give my opinions on it after having hundreds, maybe thousands of hours in the game, okay? So, this game, it means a lot to me because I did play it a ton. This is my second favorite MX vs. ATV game of all time, behind only Reflex. And Reflex I probably have a little bit more time in. I have thousands of hours in Reflex for sure. I probably have at least 1,000 hours in this game, but there just isn't really any easy way to tell because I played it on PC, I played it on PS4 mostly, which is what this is, and we played it on the Xbox. So yeah, we have tons of hours in this game, and it's my second favorite game of all time. Now, would I recommend it? Before we answer that question, and I don't even know if we'll really answer that question, you have to ask yourself this. Are you willing to put in a bunch of time? I mean, way more time than most. I'm not saying all of them, but most MX vs. ATV games to get good at it? That is the question. This game, I have seen so many people say that they don't like this game, they hated it, it's dumb because all you have to do is clutch boost and preload, and you can jump an entire section on a track. That isn't fair to this game, and that isn't true. It really isn't. Yes, it had a clutch boost, the quads had an insane first gear clutch boost in the manual transmission, the 50 has a clutch boost, and even the bike in first gear and the automatic transmission had a clutch boost, but it wasn't that easy. It wasn't just square corner off, clutch boost, and preload. You would not be an elite player if you were doing that. I wouldn't even say you'd be fast. What made you good at this game wasn't just that. I would say the clutch boost preloading was best for if you messed up a section, you could get going and get back in a rhythm kinda easier. I would say that is what that part of the game was best for. But to be really fast at the game, there was so many things you had to do and think about to make that happen. It wasn't, the best way to be really fast was maintaining your momentum, your high speed momentum. That was the key, just like it is in most any dirt bike game. And this game, it was kind of slippery, but you could find good traction if you knew how to do it. You had to be in manual transmission, you had to maintain fifth gear around the corner and not lose any speed. It was very difficult. It was so easy to push out over the top of the berm or just spin out or whatever. It was tough. And then to preload, but you had a double preload, you had a whip glitch, you had a reverse whip glitch. You could whip glitch and drop the nose of the bike like crazy and go a bit further. You see us do it a bit in this video. We were never very good at it, but you also had a reverse whip glitch where you could lift the front end of the bike up really, really high and kind of do a reverse whip glitch and go a bit further and a bit higher. We did that in the beginning when we were first playing this game. We also have this track. This is the 2017 East Rutherford Replica Supercross track. We got the entire 2017 Supercross replica tracks in the game. Before the race on the weekend, we got them on Tuesday usually. It was awesome. But back to what I was saying, you had the whip glitch to go a bit further. You had to get a full preload. You sometimes didn't have to get a full preload. You had a double preload you could do. There was so many things that made this game difficult. You had to think about tons of stuff when you were going around a track to try and get a fast lap in or just be fast in the game. It wasn't just, oh, you have to just clutch boost and preload and you're really good at the game. No, it wasn't that simple. It really wasn't. And if that's what you think, you weren't really good at it. And I'm not saying I'm the best, okay? I will say, because I'm not gonna discredit what the work we've done, we were pretty darn good at this game. We were really, really good. We weren't the best, and the reason we were so good is because, one, we played the game a ton, and two, pretty much all my friends I played with were like way better than I was, or the best in the world. I mean, we have a friend from YouTube, his name is Matt, Cubs fan, and he may be the best at the whip glitch I have ever seen in this game. If we were doing 4 or 5 in a rhythm section, he was doing 5 or 6. If we would jump in and jump out, he was jumping the entire rhythm section. If we were jumping an entire rhythm section, he was jumping that entire rhythm section, the corner, and the next rhythm section. It was insane. He just was basically flying above the track and never touched the ground. Yes, I'm exaggerating, but he was so good. I'm just trying to put into perspective how good he was at the game and how he could just basically live above the track in the game. Okay, I had a bunch of other friends that were really good. Doja Bills, Got Banned, Moto US. I know I'm missing other people. There was other fast guys that I didn't play with as much. Hayes, I can't think of his full name, but Hayes was really good. I would say he was one of the best in the game ever. So yeah, I mean, that's why we got pretty good at the game. No, we're not near as good as we used to be. We're using the automatic transmission because I just can't use the manual. I would have to play the game and learn the game and practice the manual to get good at it again. So it was just easier to use the automatic transmission. But if you're trying to get fast, I would highly recommend you use the manual and learn how to shift the bike and do all that stuff. But yeah, just practicing and learning the basics and the mechanics of what you have to do to be fast. Yeah, just use the automatic transmission, and it really isn't a big deal. But yeah, going back to the question of, is this a good game? Should you buy it? Is it worth you picking it up? You have to ask yourself all those questions, and you have to ask yourself, how much time are you willing to dedicate to get good at the game? How much time are you willing to be really frustrated with the game if you want to be good at it? Because it was easy to get frustrated in this game. It was really easy to push out over berms. I already said that. It was really easy to over jump and get out of control and not be able to control your rider, which wasn't in Supercross. There was a game, MX vs ATV Supercross, before this game came out, and that was one of my least favorite games because this game, yes, it is basically the same game as this, but it isn't. This is a far more superior version of the game, and all the small changes they did to it made it better. It had, again, the 2017 Supercross replica tracks. It had tons of awesome DLC Supercross tracks. The stock tracks in the game were awesome. It brought over the national tracks from MX vs ATV Alive. It had awesome free ride compounds such as this. This is Squall Valley. It had 2 national tracks, 2 Supercross tracks, like 100 freestyle ramps, the most ever in an MX vs ATV game. I believe they said the free ride maps from Alive, it had the 50, the 2-strokes, the OEM bikes, the 650 quads. It didn't really have the other vehicles in it, but I was okay with that because it was whatever. I'm fine with just the bikes and the quads. That's what I care about, mainly the bikes. But yeah, so again, coming back to it, I'm kind of jumping around here. Is it a good game? Yes, for sure, in my opinion. Second favorite MX vs ATV game of all time. Maybe, in my opinion, the most difficult MX vs ATV game to play and get really good at, but it's just an opinion. Alive was really tough too. Alive took some time to get good at as well, but I feel like this game was even more difficult than Alive was. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think, how you feel about it, if you believe it is as difficult as I say, or if you're one of those guys that say just preload and clutch boost and it's easy. Yeah, ask yourself those questions, because if you're not willing to put in the time or learn all the dumb little stuff you have to do to be fast, probably shouldn't pick this one up. But if you are, and you're willing to get good at it, it is one of the most satisfying MX vs ATV games to ever play. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. But you guys and girls are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for the support on the channel lately. It really does mean a lot. And until the next video, take it easy.